Hi, welcome to This Town Rocks. I'm your host, Curt Towne. And on today's show, we have Wet Willie's lead singer, Jimmy Hall. He sang with Wet Willie, Hank Williams Jr., Jeff Beck, and so many others. He'll be telling us about things that he did with the Capricorn Record Studios in Macon, Georgia in the past, and he'll also be telling us about stuff that he's doing currently with Blackberry Smoke. So stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. This Town Rocks.
Everything that was done then, people are trying to do now. We're just trying to add on to the foundation of that.
Take it away.
Strat has always had a sound within, itself. It's the root of all music that'll always be relevant.
I just love this guitar. It's just something about it that when you hear it, it just takes you to another place. It's classic and never gets old, and it just feels good.
I think I take from the past just by trying to play with the same groove and feel. You end up finding your own self playing the instruments.
Two, 1, 2, 3. Well, you say you got the blues. You got holes in both your shoes. Yeah, feel alone and confused. You gotta keep on smiling. Just keep on smiling. Say you're about to go inside.
All right. Good morning, Jimmy. Can you hear me okay? We're good?
Yeah, I hear you. I don't see all of you, but I hear you.
That's all right. Hey, I just wanted to say thanks for coming on to This Town Rocks. Real good. I believe, I remember meeting you the first time. I believe it was on the Southern Rock cruise. It may have been the Simple Man cruise, but
yeah.
we've played together and we've had a great time, and you've always just been so, I know you probably, get used to hearing this, but you're just such an amazing person. You're a wonderful person. You're an amazing musician. Your soulful vocals blow my mind. As a matter of fact, we saw you with Jeff Beck in Jacksonville, my wife Truly and I, and you absolutely floored everybody when you came out there singing. It was just magical. I just wanted to say, what a fantastic job you've always done, and the soulfulness in your voice is just amazing to me. It's you come from this place that is uninhibited, and I love that about you. I think that's amazing, and I just wanted to hear some of your amazing stories, a lot of fun stories. And you played, with Wet Willie and Jeff Beck, Hank Williams Jr. You've done it all. So you've got a lot of Capricorn Records stories and Macon, Georgia stories, and heck, I would just love to hear some of that.
How long do you have? It's like, you live as long as I have, which is, a few years, and you stick with it. Stuff is going to happen along the way, and thanks for all the glowing comments and the props there. I appreciate it. I don't know if you saw me blushing or not, but I appreciate all that. I've had I've had a blessed life and a blessed career. It's got many chapters and many little turns in the road along my musical journey. And it's just glad to still be here doing it. Yeah, we met on the Southern Rock Cruise. That was I did 2 of them, so I'm trying to remember if you were on both of those.
Yeah, I was on both of those, and the last Simple Man cruise as well.
Right. I didn't make the Simple Man cruise, but we did those 2 Southern Rock cruises in 2 years in a row, and just had a ball.
Absolutely.
So, get to meet you and get to hear you, and of course Skinner was on the first one, and when we start talking about stories, I don't know if you want to get into that part right now or
whatever you want to do.
One that just comes to the top of my mind. I'm going to switch hats for this. This is I don't know if switching hats reminds me of Leon Wilkerson, who used to wear a lot of hats.
I got a funny Leon story too.
I think if you've seen Hank Jr.
I have
in the past couple years, he adopted that whole I'm gonna wear a different hat for every song. The little costume changes that he goes through, and he's got hats all on the drum riser, and he'll do something like Country Boy Can't Survive, and he's got his hunting camouflage kind of duck hunting, turkey hunting hat, or he'll do his duet that he did with Waylon Jennings. He'll do the conversation, and he'll put on his cowboy hat. But anyway, so I got on my. Can you see this hat pretty well?
Absolutely, looks fantastic.
Can you see the rattle? The snake?
I see it. Yeah, I was absolutely. I was wondering about the hat.
Okay, well here's a short story about it. Well, does it remind you of something that maybe Ronnie Van Zant used to wear?
It absolutely does.
Okay, well, a friend of mine. I love nicknames. A lot of people have them. This guy's nickname is Rooster. He lives in North Carolina, and he's a big fan of Hank's and Southern rock in general anyway. And he knew that I had some history with Skinner and with Ronnie and everything, and toured with them, recorded with them. And he said, you need a Ronnie Van Zant Riverboat Gambler hat, and I'm gonna get you one made. And he had bought some hats or gotten some hats ordered from Texas Hat Company in this little town in Texas. They do great kinds of hats. And he got my size and everything and mailed it to me, and I was just floored because it's so well made, and it's got all the details. I don't know if you don't look at my hair, but inside, made especially for Jimmy Hall, in memory of Ronnie Van Zant.
That's so cool.
And yeah, so I'm wearing that because I'm going to tell some stories here.
Awesome.
Built for life on the road, Stockwell is Marshall's lightest and most portable speaker to date. The battery offers 25 hours of playing time, and the USB charging port means you'll never have to worry about running out of juice. Stockwell features retractable analog knobs that complement the vintage Marshall styling. A 3.5mm input, as well as the latest in Bluetooth technology, keep you connected. Stockwell can be purchased with or without the protective velvet line flip cover. The flip cover can be purchased separately if you change your mind later on down the road.
Hey guys, this is Curt Towne. I just wanted to say thank you for tuning in. I want to kind of give you an idea of how this came about. So what this is a way, hopefully, to help out some of our friends, musicians, artists, authors, actors, side guys, you name it, roadies, and also kind of bring you in on somewhat of a VIP pass, kind of a backstage pass, where you get to hear stories that I've been so blessed about hearing most of my life that I've never heard anywhere else. But they're just fun, lighthearted stories. And so it's really an opportunity to share backstage with you in a fun kind of way. And if you can, if it's possible, if you could also give to them, that would be great, by Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, or Zelle, or any other ways we can come up with to help them out, to help out their families, because so many of them, this is their only source of income. If they don't have a gig, they don't get paid. And so that could be a stagehand, a guitar tech. It could be the lead guitar player, the lead singer. It could be anybody. And we would just appreciate it so much. If there was a way that you could help, that'd be great. And I know we've all been affected by this. Yourself, myself, our families, the world. But if you can give whatever you see fit, then that would be greatly appreciated on behalf of the artist or whoever is interviewed and their families and ours too. So thank you so much. Take care. God bless, and hope to see you on the road again soon. And that's for This Town Rocks, pun intended.
When I look back at Leonard Skinner, I think back to the years when Wet Willie had been out there and recording and touring with the Allman Brothers, those first 70, 71, up through 73, 74. I'm trying to remember the first years that we saw Leonard Skinner coming up in the ranks and playing around Atlanta at Richards and some of those clubs. And they really moved up fast once they hit the scene. I think just the fact they were writing good songs and the first couple records came out, they really, I got a poster somewhere of Wet Willie with Skinner, and they were opening for us that time, cool. Or that tour.
That's very cool.
And pretty quickly, they were on a rocket ride to the top, I'm telling you. Pretty quickly, they rose up to the ranks of we were opening for them. But I'm talking about 1975 or 76. Wet Willie toured with Leonard Skinner and did several shows together. Which was always fun because Ronnie would say, "Come on, play harmonica on Call Me the Breeze or T for Texas or one of those." And I love jamming. I got some pictures of me on stage jamming with them. But anyway, this particular tour, one of the shows we were hanging out after the show, and Ronnie, we were having a drink together, some kind of whatever, maybe Jack Daniels. And Ronnie said, "Man, I tell you what," he said, "I'm a singer, but you're a singer. You know," and he would go, I do okay, but man, I tell you what, you just sing like nobody I've ever heard." And he took my hand and kissed it, kissed my hand. And I really, really admire you and what you do. He said, Jimmy, why don't you come on and ride the bus with me tonight? Get on the bus with us and hang out. And I said, okay, because we were traveling kind of in a caravan anyway with our bus and trucks and theirs. And anyway, I got on the bus and just after the show, and we started rolling down the road. Ronnie says, Jimmy, come up here and sit up here and listen to the music. Listen to what I want you to listen to something, he said. So he's playing Merle Haggard, Mama Tried.
Mama Tried.
And he's playing, oh boy, he's playing Jimmy Rogers. All alone, the water tank, waiting for a train, 1,000 miles away from home. I'm going back to Dixieland, and we're sitting there and I'm looking at him like, man, that's good. I didn't know you liked this kind of stuff. I mean, I knew your roots and everything and pretty much, but he was just saying, this is what I listen to. This is what I was really inspired by. We were drinking a little red wine that night and going down the road. And back in those days, there weren't as many 24-hour restaurants. Maybe you had Waffle House back then. I'm not sure. But usually you would be stopping to get fuel in your buses and trucks, and you would go to a truck stop that had a 24-hour restaurant. Most of those truck stops had all-night restaurants and get breakfast at 3 a.m. So we pulled into this truck stop, and I didn't tell you one thing, but Ronnie had, at least on that tour, he liked to laugh. He liked to have fun. He had a stuffed chimpanzee, like a plush toy chimpanzee, but it looked real. Really, it was very detail oriented. It looked real. It dressed up. It had clothes on, and everybody got a kick out of it. But he said, he kind of looked at me. He said, "We're walking into the restaurant, into this truck stop," and he said, "Now I want you to watch this because you're gonna have fun with this." So we go in the restaurant, just a bunch of long-haired hippie musicians, and Ronnie's carrying this monkey. He's carrying this stuffed monkey, and we go sit around this big table, and we see people looking at us like, what the hell is going to happen? What the hell is this? Bunch of hippie musicians, and they got a monkey with them. And Ronnie plops that monkey down. He called it Charlie. He plops him down in a chair, and waitress comes to take our orders. Well, she's going around the table, and then Ronnie says, well, I want gravy and biscuits, and give me 2 eggs over easy and some coffee. And for Charlie, I wonder if you got any like banana pancakes. And he likes orange juice, and the woman's eyes are getting just big as saucers. She's going, I don't know. But she went along with it and just wrote it down and said, oh, okay. And anyway, we got a big laugh out of that. They brought the food back, and Ronnie was having fun, just acting like he's feeding the monkey, and people all around looking at us like we're crazy, and we're just one of those road stories and one of those kind of road pranks that stands the test of time.
Absolutely. I love that stuff. And those are the stories that really nobody gets the chance to ever hear. I've never heard that story. I think it's fantastic. You're on the road, you're having a good time, you've got a great story to tell, it's fun. It's great.
Well, for me, it's things that I look back and just savor the memory and reminisce about Ronnie after we lost him and lost other members in the plane crash. And I look back at being able to play on their album. I played harmonica on a Railroad song,
Right.
and Made in the Shade.
That would be Nothing Fancy. I'm pretty sure that's Nothing Fancy.
What was it?
I think that's Nothing Fancy.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
That's what comes to mind. It was Nothing Fancy, and they asked me to play on those songs. And looking back, that was an honor. And when Nothing Fancy came out and we were touring together, I would always play. If we were touring together, he would get me to play live and play on those songs. But also, when they earned a gold album for Nothing Fancy, this is a big deal for me, and I cherish this like nothing. When they got a gold album, Ronnie had, and the band had one made for me with my name on it.
That's great.
On a plaque. And if I was at home, now I'm in my son's studio. This is my son's apartment. He's got more technology in his place than I do. But I've got the gold record up on my wall that Ronnie and Leonard Skinner gave me, and it was like part of my Jimmy Hall of Fame.
That's right. Well deserved, and that's an amazing honor. It's funny because on my way here, we film in Green Cove Springs, and so on my way here, I actually passed where the Hell House used to be, the train trestle, all that stuff. And so when they wrote Railroad Song, I passed those railroad tracks on the way here. And it's amazing to think how much music came from that area. And of course, I grew up in the same neighborhood, so I know all the the streets and whatnot. But in Green Cove, it's pretty amazing that you still pass the train trestle. You still that driveway, the original driveway to where the Hell House was, is still there.
I've always been a fan of Skinner and their ability to write songs that everybody can relate to. The common man, whoever, music fan, people that loved good rock and roll, and but people, Ronnie's lyrics, the band's lyrics were a common denominator. They were easy for everybody to relate to, And I think I was telling you when we talked before about seeing an interview with another fallen hero, with Ed King. An interview with Ed King before he passed about his involvement in Sweet Home Alabama, and how the band was working on the basic idea in the Hell House and just hammering away, and Ed comes in and he's got this lick in his head about just those iconic intro licks, and then later on the solo, and just how Ronnie's over there in the corner, sitting on, kind of lying down or laying back on a sofa in the corner with his eyes closed. And he's listening to the band play the riff, and Ed's adding his parts, and Ronnie's going, yeah, play that again. Yeah, play that. Okay. And pretty soon, Ronnie came up with big wheel, keep on turning. Carry me home, see my kin. And he had the first verse as he was listening. And just that whole scenario of how that song evolved, and they stayed at it, worked on it. I don't know how many hours and days. Ed would say, we'd get in there about 8:30 in the morning and go till sundown. We'd go till later, and it was called it the Hell House. It was so hot in there. It was just like a steam bath. But they loved it because they were just creating great music. And anyway, my son and I started writing a song about that process and about that conversation with Ed. So stand by for the finished product on that.
So we were talking about camaraderie and the things. Now, our friends in Blackberry Smoke just invited you to come out and do an EP with them. And I'd like to know more about that. Those guys have always been fun. We've got an opportunity to play with them as well, and they're always a lot of fun. I always enjoy hanging out with them and visiting with them, and they're great musicians and they're great guys. So that's two going for you right there, man. They make great music, so that's three great guys. But anyway, so you've got an EP that you just joined in on, correct?
Yeah, it's I love those guys, and I can't remember the first year we met, but God, that looks like Skinner in 77, 76, 75, because Brett reminded me of Artemis.
Yeah.
And Charlie called me before, I'm trying to remember if it was a week or so before they planned to do this DVD or recording this EP. And Charlie said, what are you doing on February 26th? I said, well, I'm supposed to fly down to Florida and join my bandmates with Wet Willie on this Rock Legends cruise. And he said, well, this is what we're talking about doing. We want to go to Capricorn Studios and record an EP there. And we want to do Keep On Smiling and Grits Ain't Groceries among the songs that we're going to do. We're going to also do a couple Almond songs and do a Marshall Tucker song and maybe a Little Richard song. I said, I really want to do this. It's going to be great. I love the idea. I just done the Capricorn reopening, grand reopening special concert in Macon on December 3rd. And had a great. Charlie was there for that. Charlie Starr.
Right.
Anyway, so I arranged my schedule so I could fly out a day later to go to get on the Rock Legends cruise, and went down and met them in Macon. And pretty much we just took the whole day and blocked out the whole day so that they could get it all done. And we set up in the main the main room in the studio is where you could set up a whole band. There's plenty of room for every instrument, and it just brought back such memories of recording there. As I was singing "Keep on Smiling" with the band, I just thought about, this is the same studio, the same song, and Tom Dowd was standing over here, and I remember him guiding us through the arrangement that we came up with. Anyway, I can't say enough positive things about Blackberry Smoke and the preparation they put into recording this EP. They had every detail and every lick down perfectly, and then they added, like on "Keep on Smiling," it was Benji Shanks on guitar, playing slide, and that slide held out on the choruses, just added such a nice touch. It just, it just beefed it up. And then the girls, they have two great female background singers called the Black Betties that I never heard before these sessions, and they just nailed it. Sounded like a gospel choir. Live in the studio, they filmed it. Of course, you could see that they released "Keep on Smiling" as a single, and they did it on YouTube and the other streaming systems. They put it out there as a single because on Friday, May 22nd, 1974, is the date the song was originally released.
Oh, that's super cool.
So we made a big deal by putting it out there this past Friday.
That's awesome.
But I was excited to be a part of it because it turned out it just turned out great.
1, 2, 3. Well, you say you got the blues. You got holes in both your shoes. Yeah, feel alone and confused. You gotta keep on smiling. Just keep on smiling. Say you're about to go insane, 'cause somebody's playing games with your mind, and they say that you're to blame. Everybody gotta keep on smiling. No, keep on smiling. Keep on smiling through the rain, laughing at the pain, growing with the changes until the sun comes out again. You gotta keep on smiling through the rain, laughing at the pain, growing with the changes. Keep on singing this refrain. Where you singing in a honky-tonk cafe? Ain't nobody hearing what you play. That's too bad, 'cause you're too busy drinking anyway. Yeah, you gotta keep on smiling. Just keep on smiling. Where you at? Find a piece of land, gonna settle down. Change from a city boy to laid-back country man. I'm gonna try to build my life up with my hands and just keep on smiling. Yeah, keep on smiling. Keep on smiling. local bar and you're wondering who the hell you are. Are you a farmer? Somebody say, are you a star? Till the sun comes out again, you gotta keep on smiling through the rain, laughing at the pain and the pain and the pain, going with the changes. Just keep on singing, sing it with me now, girl. Come on, keep on smiling, 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 smiling.
The coolest icon in music just got cooler.
And the initial idea of doing this EP was to help promote Blackberry Smoke's Southern Spirit tour planned for the fall and the late summer fall. We got to see about how that's going to roll out and when it's going to be safe to do it. But you can go to blackberrysmoke.com and see all the dates.
Right.
And they're going to have special guests along the way, and they've asked me to be a special guest, and J-Mo from the Almonds to join in and be a special guest on some shows. So
yeah, fantastic. I know that there was a Jacksonville show scheduled, or is still currently scheduled, as far as I know, for that tour. And
yeah, there's a Nashville date too, and yeah, like you see all the dates online. I just hope and pray that it'll happen this year sometime.
Yeah, I do too. But you know what? The great thing is that it's so cool that you had that history, and now you have a new history. You develop a new history, and Blackberry Smoke being such a part of that. And we can't say enough good things about the guys. I mean, they're great guys, and we joke and we kid and we tease each other about football teams. Go Gators. I'm just saying. But anyway, we joke and we kid and we tease and we do all those things, but they really do an amazing job of honoring the history of our music, and as well as creating new history, even though, we'll be talking about it some other time, I'm sure. And so, I wanted to thank you for being on today. Today we've got so many things going on with us artist-wise, that all of this, we're in this together. So I just, hopefully this brightens somebody's day and makes someone smile. It certainly is. I've enjoyed every second of it myself, Jimmy, and I hope you would come back again, and I can't wait to see you on the road. I can't wait to see you in person and, give you a high five and a big hug and hopefully play together again, and we just, enjoy it. Thank you.
Thank you, and I got stories to tell. You just got to stop me at some point and say,
we got more stories we'll get from you at some point.
Say enough about you.
No, it's awesome, and I appreciate you so much for being on. I look forward to having you on again. This is one of our first episodes, and I'll let you know all about it and send it to you, of course. And we appreciate it. This Town Rocks is a new idea, and it's really just to kind of unite us and help us. We're all in this together. So it's to give us all just a little bit of time for a good smile and a good story. And Get Amp Magazine's been great. That's the platform and what we push this on. And so
thank you, Steve.
Yeah, Steve Janowitz, our producer, great job. And so I know I'm very grateful to have you. I don't know if you can hear me, but I'm very grateful for having you. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
I am a ray of light from another dimension. I have no control over myself. When I'm at my best, I just try to let go and let the light shine. Your body resonating with sound, the instrument resonating with your nervous system, and the love that you have for the world. I kind of feel like it's the great language that humans have is music. When I was a kid and I started getting into rock music, I started seeing music as colors and shapes and attitude as opposed to being technically adept. Now I feel like I want to know more. I want to know music academically because I feel like it's just more colors to paint with. That's what I got for you.
Thank you so much for joining us on this week's episode, Part 1, with the legendary Jimmy Hall from Wet Willie, Hank Williams Jr., and Jeff Beck, just to name a few. So if you liked this episode, and I hope you did, like, share, and subscribe. Be sure and tell all your friends about it. And we'll see you next week on This Town Rocks. Hey, thank you so much for enjoying. 3, 2, 1. Hey, thank you so much for. Say it again. Thanks for watching this week's show. Okay. Thank you so much for coming on our show.
Thanks for watching this week.
All right. Thank you so much for being on this week.
Thank you so much for watching.
I know. Be sure and tell all your friends about it. And we'll see you next week on This Town Rocks.
That's the one.
Awesome.